Age of Age Bay. You thought I was going to talk about Game of Thrones, but I'm not. Not yet. Not yet. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. You'd think the first video I put up this week would be about Game of Thrones, but it's not. In true Bellini fashion, I'm going to throw a curveball and do something a little bit late. So, this vid is going to be my thoughts on the Jungle Book remake. Yes, I can already see people leaving. No, this video is about the Jungle Book remake. I've been wanting to see this for a little while. The trailers had me excited, very, kind of. I had a mixed reaction to it. I was like, please tell me this isn't the dark and gritty, remake of the Jungle Book, because it's Jungle Book. It's Rudyard Kipling. This isn't like a Hans Christian Andersen story or like an original folklore tale where it's got a much more grim ending that Disney Disneyfied. This is a fun romp and it's based on Disney's. It's specifically based on that. It draws from other Rudyard Kipling works, yes, but it helps. So you know the story of the Jungle Book, but it's got a much more sophisticated take on it as well. It's not a modern uptake. It's still a fun movie. There are stakes. It does get pretty intense. I have, I'd read some reviews and they're like, don't take kids to this. You can totally take kids to this. There are multiple jump scare moments, but it's nothing that kids are going to have nightmares over. Certainly not. So you know the story of the Jungle Book. It's a little Indian boy who's orphaned in the middle of the jungle, and he's raised by a pack of wolves. He's also looked after by a Black Panther. Not Black Panther, Bagheera, a panther. And then in the middle of this, there's in the middle of the dry season. The rains have stopped, so it reaches a point where the water's so low, all the animals have a truce because you drink before you eat. They need to drink. At that point, predators and prey have all come to an understanding. We don't hunt, we just drink now, okay? That's all we gotta do until it rains again. Shere Khan shows up and he says, listen, as soon as that truce is over, that thing's dead. Shere Khan's played by Idris Elba, and he's great in this, I mean, you expect Idris Elba to be great in things, and yeah, he delivers. In this, the Shere Khan in the cartoon was very regal, very, very much the aristocrat. He plays this as Idris Elba. He plays every single syllable with utter contempt, just like that. Every vowel, every sound is just dribbling with hate. He's like, mad cop. He hates it. He hates this little kid being in the jungle. And even when you think they've come to a solution, he's like, oh, that's it, we're done. No, it's not done. I wanted his head. And you like that. He's like, no, this guy's a bloody maniac. He wants that cub. He wants that child dead because man is the enemy of the jungle. That's the law. Man and the red flower, aka fire. My son turned to me at one point and was like, isn't a red flower a rose? I'm like, shh, they don't, shh. So Mowgli, and this Mowgli, the kid who plays Mowgli is amazing. I'm going to get back to him in a minute, but they give Mowgli, he's not a typical feral child. There are things that because he's not an animal, he doesn't have claws, he has his wits, he has his own ingenuity, he can invent things, he creates his own little mechanisms. He's kind of a boy genius, he can use tools. He does things that animals wouldn't think of doing. In fact, they're referred to as tricks, and he's sort of often told and advised not to do that, that's not the jungle way, and so on. But it works, and it's a nice take, I gotta say it. Now I'm gonna get into the cast. The kid who plays Mowgli, Neil Sethi, he's amazing. And you often forget that this kid is acting with CGI animals that aren't there. First of all, the CGI animals are amazing. They're on point with the apes from the apes movies. I want to see a crossover of that, please. In terms of realistic looking CGI animals, not cartoonish, not a take. They look gorgeous. All of it is gorgeous. The scenery gorgeous. The jungle, none of it's there. It's amazing. It's just there's some sets, sure, on like mud or a tree maybe, but it's such a great canvas. The animals are great. The kid plays it beautifully. I've seen adult actors, veteran actors, give wooden performances when dealing with CGI props, tennis ball acting. He's amazing. I guess it's just being a kid and you've still got that make-believe spirit where you don't mind pretending that you're talking to a panther, a tiger, a bear. Speaking of bears, Bill Murray plays Baloo in the best casting since they got John Goodman to play Baloo in that animated Jungle Book movie from like 2002. But yes, he's great. He's awesome. He plays it. He doesn't necessarily have Mowgli's best interests at heart when we first meet him. He's kind of a con artist who's trying to get Mowgli to work for him for his own ends. Not in a necessarily nefarious way, but just in a sort of, you know, hey, I need help with a thing. Help me with this thing, you owe me. Sorry, I thought there was rain outside. Probably is. It's Ireland. What do you want? So that happens. Ben Kingsley plays Bagheera. He's on point there. I keep saying that. I'm annoying myself. He's excellent in that role. He's solid. You know, Ben Kingsley, man. You could put him in anything and he'll be great. And he plays the stern, disapproving dad to Bill Murray's laissez-faire, laid-back dad. You know what he's like? Bill Murray is playing Saint Vincent from Saint Vincent, but in the Jungle Book, and it's awesome, and I love it. I've already mentioned Idris Elba Shere Khan. There is one thing that's a bit odd. Christopher Walken plays King Louis, and it's going to be a little bit jarring because everything else is fine. Christopher Walken is still great, you know, he's still Christopher Walken, but you gotta hear him. He comes on and he's like, "So, which part of the jungle are you from? Is it the south part? I've never been. I hear it's very beautiful." It's so weird, and like there are two songs in this. One is just one that the background music is already there, and then all of a sudden they just start singing the bare necessities as they're swimming down a river. It's a nice callback, and it works because they're the two characters have bonded at this point. Why wouldn't they have a little sing song? Why not? They're in a good mood. But then they get to the "I Want to Be Like You" song with King Louis, and he just starts singing. There's no cue for it. He just starts singing, and it's just him, and there's no guttural there's no monkey noises. It's him saying, "I want to be like you." It's odd. He's also not playing an orangutan. He's playing a Gigantopithecus. I know this because he says this multiple times. So there's that. It's odd, and it's going to be a bit jarring, and it's going to take you out of the movie a little bit because he plays it as a really threatening mobster type. But for the most part, it works. So make from that what you will. Generally speaking, this movie is entertaining as hell. Visually, it's amazing. I'm going to get it on Blu-ray, and God help me if they wanted to make a Lion King like this. I actually wouldn't mind. You know, just do me a favor and get Jeremy Irons back as Scar, and we'll call it quits. If he wants to come back and play the same character again and you go through the same story again. But whatever, I don't mind. If you like this vid, please click like, subscribe, view, share, and all the usual jazz. Those are my Lion King. Those are my Jungle King thoughts. And I'll see you later on when I do my Game of Thrones vid. Yeah, it's coming.